Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And today we are talking something just a little less depressing. Today we are going to be talking about Notre Dame and the uncovered tombs that are starting to reveal their secrets.
Okay, so
Yes,
it
we're
says
going to
two
talk about dead people.
sarcophaguses, but that's not the plural. I would like to point this out. It's very
Sarcophagi.
minor
Sarcophagi.
detail. It's sarcophagi.
Yeah, yeah,
Actually.
This is that. I
yeah.
just saw that. I
It's
just saw
it's one
that.
of those ones, fungi, cacti, boxi, sarcophagi.
Hey, he's a fun guy. What can I say?
I'm putting I'm putting horrible grammar in kids' heads forever. But yes, so there have been
Sarcophaguses.
two sarcophagi unearthed at Notre Dame. One of them was opened in Toulouse, and it was discovered within there was remains of a man in his 30s who has been named Le Cavalier because his pelvic bone indicates that he spent a lot of time on horseback. Now, what I find very interesting about this man is the nature in which he was interred, because there's two things that seem very unusual about it. Number one, he was embalmed. This is not a common practice in medieval France. Embalming technology uh, really peaks around the ancient Egyptians and then just dissipates
Really hard to preserve a
until
body.
until around the mid 19th century, as far as Europeans and Western culture having any contact with it. So this is the attempting to embalm someone in, was this the 13th century?
14th,
I
I think.
believe. Uh, 13th or 14th century. Yeah, very rare. The other thing is this man was interred with a crown of flowers, and we have evidence of that crown and just the floral arrangements associated with funerary practices are something we so rarely get to see in archaeology and as archaeologists, and just that always sticks out to me whenever something like this is found, is like, ooh, we have the flowers, because in the 21st century we use a lot of flowers.
It's also important to note, too, where he was buried, in that he was buried in the destroyed rood screen, which was an ornate partition between the chancel and the nave, which separated the clergy and the choir from the congregation. So this was a very prominent position within the church.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it obviously was someone of great importance or great value. Like you said, a member of the quote unquote elite.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and there's more information to support that, because there is the um, deformation of his skull, which is caused by the wearing of a specific headdress as a child. A lot of nobles would mold the bones of the skull of their infants to alter the shape. Most famously, again, are the ancient Egyptians, who would elongate their foreheads.
Also, the
They
Mayans
also
would elongate the back of their head to mimic corn.
Yeah.
they also mentioned that there was no name plaque on the coffin itself,
No.
which is why they call him Le Cavalier. Also,
Yep. We don't have a name for him, so we're going to make one up. Welcome to archaeology.
it's
uh,
better than what is it usually like site location, section name, and something else usually, all right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I do
Yeah,
feel for
apparently
these
they're
guys sometimes.
But like
yeah.
it's kind of interesting. So the whole reason they did this was what they called a preventative dig, or in the U.S. we call it mitigation, where something's been damaged and they have to do construction and they're going to be renovating things. They'll usually go through and excavate an area to make sure that there's nothing there. In this case, they obviously found two sarcophagi, and we talked about the young Le Cavier, but we really haven't talked about De La Porte, the clergyman who was also found there.
Yeah, that one actually had a plaque on his sarcophagi or
That's
sarcophagus.
why we have a name for him and know who he is, which
So
is always
just in
very
case,
nice. Yeah.
and just in case anyone has forgotten, the reason why they're doing this sort of mitigation is because Notre Dame kind of caught fire a few years ago. If you forgot, just in
It
case.
got a little spicy in there.
Yeah, I actually do have something. I'm gonna disappear for a second.
Oh no, he's got a
Do
fraction
have
of the burnt cathedral.
no, but I have from when I visited a little Notre Dame. The spire still intact from when I visited. The spire is no longer there.
So you got to
Well,
update your mini figurine to reflect the real life version.
yeah,
No, this is going to be valuable. This is the historic Notre Dame. It's like when they renamed Sears Tower. I'm not agreeing to that.
But
But
circling back to Antoine de la Porte, a couple of things that were noted about him and his body was that it was shown that he was and that he lived a sedentary lifestyle, so he didn't go anywhere. He lived in one place. And the other thing that they noted, which was kind of interesting, is how good his teeth were.
fabulous.
The other the Cavalier, he had really horrible teeth, which proved to be a detriment to him towards the end of his life. They were saying, but that this clergyman had exceptional teeth and obviously took care of him. And like, I don't know, it's just interesting to hear.
cleanliness is next to godliness.
Mhm.
I assume that's what this man
That
included
is,
that part with his teeth.
that's how the saying goes. And I believe the next song in the Irish, the next line in the Irish drinking song is "dying on a bar of Irish Spring."
Yeah.
Oh no. But it's kind of
It's,
interesting too
uh,
because obviously Delaporte was wealthy and influential, but also it was noted that he had a number of paintings that now hang in the Louvre,
mhm.
including one
Really?
by Jean Jouvenet.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah, and Neil, as much as we have our very mellowed energy for this video, one of the very fun things too with this is when they were doing the excavations to work on Notre Dame after the fire, most of the things they discovered were maybe 20 centimeters or about 8 inches below the surface of the cathedral floor. Um, these sarcophagi were a meter deep or more. So these people were in there.
Yeah.
And most everything else was just like had, a small layer and then the floor panels. So these people were put there's a lot of effort put into keeping them below the floors.
And putting them again in that prominent position within the church is another really point to highlight.
Yeah, it's a very promising business. It's not just they undid the floorboard, lowered them in. They dug
It
because
does.
you have to go a meter, which is I believe it's a little more than a yard.
It's roughly 3 feet, but yeah.
Yeah, it's roughly 3 feet. I believe it's a little bit more, but yeah, you've got to dig 3 feet just to get to the lid of these things.
And
They are in there nice and deep.
it was noted in the article that that the team in charge of this dig will be treating the remains respectfully because they are not treating them as objects. They are in fact treating them as people. And I think that's a really important thing to note because remember, just because the sarcophagi are in fact objects, they do in fact hold people. And sometimes in archaeology, for outsiders looking in, they kind of forget to separate the actual object with the remains inside.
And one of the benefits too with this is these bodies that have been found are the bodies of Frenchmen, and they are being worked on by French people. So there is French archaeologists, French scientists. That is a luxury that not a lot of cultures get to have.
Just wait until the British Museum hears they open a sarcophagi without them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the British
Yeah.
Museum is currently
The
foaming
Brit-
at the mouth.
the British Museum is our next topic that we're going to record with this session. So
And on
have
that
some
terrible
fun.
bombshell, we should wrap it all up.
That
Let's
wasn't
wrap it
too
up. That's
terrible.
someone signal Justin stop.
All right. So thank you guys for watching and checking this video out. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. If there's a topic that you want to hear us ramble on about, be sure to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and you will see us in the next video.